Hello, everybody. This is Thomas, together with lots of people, and this is Agile Ventures Unified team meeting. I'm tired today, unfortunately, and I hate this lighting, but whatever. What am I going to do? Let me go to screen share instead of having you guys watching my ugly face today. And yeah, so here we are, Agile Ventures page. Hello, everybody. How's everybody doing this lovely evening?
Good, good.
All right. Niklas, how's things with you? Yeah. Lovely, Niklas. We can't hear you. So we go over to Shalini. How's it going?
Hi, hey everyone. It's good. I'm doing good.
All right. You've been busy with the local support project as well, right?
Yes, a bit.
Cool, cool. Well, welcome to Refugee Tech project again. And
Thank
Smago,
you.
how's it going?
Fine, fine. It's a hard day to me too.
Right? Lots of work, or what's up? What's going on?
Yeah, lots of work, yeah.
Cool.
I came at home now at an hour ago, so
Okay.
you get the picture.
I got the picture. Right. So let's kick this off, Niklas. Somehow you need to solve your audio problems, but stick around. So far, communicate with us over the Slack channel if you need to say something. Let's just go over. Let's go over the last meeting minutes. We only spoke about, well, the decisions we made was about acceptance test, whether that should be enough and no controller tests, and I spoke to Sam about that, and we kind of agree on that by doing a full stack kind of testing and an acceptance tests, that should be enough, so we agreed upon our spec for unit tests, and we'd love to hear from Tony about the Cucumber for API tests. But we also need to make a decision about acceptance tests for like the admin interface or whatever we will build in Rails. And I would suggest that we use Cucumber for that. But I would like to hear you guys' opinion. Any pros and cons for using our spec for both unit and acceptance tests, or is it okay if we use Cucumber for that? Does anybody have an opinion of that?
For Cucumber, it's a pretty neat tool, and I think it covers pretty much all the needs we need for our testing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, since we're not going to focus that much on say integration tests, it should do well. It's really easy to use, and it's I think it's a pretty good tool.
All right. Zmago, do you have any previous experience with Cucumber?
Yeah, I have, I have with Cucumber and with the RSpec feature test, but I prefer the first one, the Cucumber.
Okay, all right. Mazu, do you have any opinions on this? You're good with either one?
Yep.
All right. Cool. Okay, then Cucumber it is. So let's have a quick look at the pivotal tracker. Yeah, let's go that way. Come on, there we go. And let's open this up. Now there's an echo somewhere. Yeah, it's Niklas. Niklas, put your headphones in, brother.
Hey, can you hear me now?
Yes, we can.
Yeah, great.
Cool beans. Welcome.
Thanks.
Yeah, so one of the things we could do today is to scaffold a Rails application, set up. I can talk you through the way we do it usually, and just do it basically for this project, to create a repo for Agile Ventures, and we can just, the people are here that are in the meeting right now, and also the guys and girls that are watching the recording can follow our steps and fork this repository, pull it down to your own computer, and we can set up each other as remotes using Git and stuff. Unless the level of experience varies in this group, so my thinking is that I can do things and explain along the way what I'm doing, and if there's any questions, just interrupt me, and I can stop for a while and explain some further stuff basically. But so what we will be doing now is setting up the bare Rails application and set up the initial Git flow, process in the group, basically. Okay.
Okay, sounds good.
All right. So let me just check putting the right thing. I'm in my terminal, and let's just create. Let's see what we have here. Yeah. So let's create. No, actually, let me just check if I have a repository on Agile Ventures already set up for this, and I think I do. Let's have a look. Refugee. Yes. Okay. So let's just rename this. Hopefully nobody forked this yet. Good. Let me just rename this to Project Unify. Yes. All right. Okay. So what I'm going to do now is that I'm going to clone this little. I'm going to take this project down to my computer. I don't necessarily have to do it, but I'm going to do it anyway. So I'm just going to do git clone, and I am the only one that needs to do this step because I'm the owner of the repository. So I'm just going to take it down and cd into that, and just say git remote -v, and just to check that everything is okay. All right, so this is cool, but I will not actually work on that repo. So I'm just gonna cd out of this and go into another folder that I have called projects and leave it at that. And I'm gonna fork this. So this one is under Agile Ventures organization on GitHub. So I'm gonna fork this repository to my own account. And I would like you guys to do the same, basically. Just go over to Agile Ventures /Project Unify and click fork to create and to create a repo on your own account. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to clone it down to my own local machine just by doing git clone like this, and that's going to give me whatever is in that repository at the moment. And I'm going to cd into that. And now I'm going to do, let's see what is my Rails version. Go ahead. Okay. Did you have a question for me? No question. Hey, hi, Sampriti. How's it going? So let's see. What is the Sampriti? Do you know what the Edge version of Rails or the latest Rails stable Rails version is?
2 is the stable and 4.3 is the beta version. 4.2 point something is the latest, and 4.3 is the beta version, I think.
Okay, so if I stay with 4.2.4, that should be okay, right? Yeah, let's stick to that. So I'm gonna generate a new application. So we say lays new, call it, what is it, Unify, and then I'm gonna go minus that removes the mini test or test unit test, I think. Let's see. New my app minus t. Yeah. Okay. So this just generates a bare minimum Rails application for us. and runs bundle install, which is running the installing all the dependencies that comes out of the box with Rails. And let's see how long bundle will take. Usually isn't taking too long. And while that runs, I think yes, ls. Oh, that was a bit of a mistake from me, right? So I create a new project folder. That was not what I intended to do, actually. So let's stop this. And we're going to do rf unify. And now I'm going to ask Sampriti again if he's still around. How do I create a new app in the same folder where I'm at?
Just go out to the root parent directory, do Rails new project Unify, and then it will ask you to force over the README. Just ignore that.
But if I want to, okay, so all right, project, something like this, right?
Ask you to force something, just skip that, I think.
Okay.
Oh, it did work fine, I guess.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it already existed. All right. Okay. So let's say yes. So what I'm going to do is also, while this is running,
there are two READMEs, so remove the RDoc one because you probably don't need that.
Yes, good call. Yes, good. So now I'm just gonna do git status, and yeah. So I'm gonna do just an initial commit.
Thomas, is the plan for us to have one repo, or is it going to be separate repos for the API and the client?
So there will be separate repos, but what we will use the Rails application for, I assume, is to start. So we're going to build an API and the administrative interface in the Rails application, and then we're going to build clients in separate apps, basically.
Yeah. But the repo you have now is just for the Rails app, correct?
Yeah. So new Rails app generated. There we go. And now I'm just going to do git push origin master. Just have it up there like this, and then I'm gonna go over and I'm gonna check out a new. Is it like this? Develop. I'm going to just do the same thing. I'm going to push the develop branch up to my repository. Okay, so what I have now, I have two branches on my local machine, right? One develop branch and one master branch. Okay, so we can in the development process we can forget about the master branch because it's not necessary. As developers, we will not work on the master. We will work on develop. That's my suggestion. And so for me, for instance, now what happened when I pushed up to GitHub now, I pushed up to my own branch, right? So if we and switch over you can see that I have two branches basically, right? And what I would like to do now, of course, is to switch over to the Agile Ventures repository, create a new develop branch, and switch back again to mine and create a pull request to the Agile Ventures repository.
Yeah,
and as you see,
actually, sorry, you're not actually sharing your screen at the moment.
Am I not?
Ah, that's better. You're opening a pull request now, correct?
Yeah. Did you guys didn't see my screen so far?
For a while, and then it flipped back to your Simpsons image.
I think it was freeze. Now it's back again.
Okay. All right. So new application created, and I'm just going to say new generated Rails app with. So it added RSpec. No, RSpec is not added yet, I guess, right? No, it's not. Let's see. Let's see what's added before we do anything. Makes mine. Let's have a look. Let's have a quick look in the gem file. What do we have? Okay, so it's with SQL. Okay, so there are some updates that we need to do. Okay, so there is no testing frameworks, and we haven't set the version yet. But okay, so this is just the initial pull request like this. And okay, so usually we try to avoid doing this. Since I created this pull request, I shouldn't be the one to merge it. But for the sake of speeding this along, I'm going to merge this one myself, basically. So now comes the very important part for you to do. You need to go over to this repository, and you need to copy this either SSH or HTTPS URL, and go back to your local clone, and you want to do git remote add upstream, and then the URL. So git remote add upstream, and then that URL. And what this does is that it creates a reference to a link to that main repository on your local machines. So when you do git remote -v, you'll see that you now have both something that is called origin, and then something remote that is called upstream. And it's very important that you have that, because if there's any new code in the main repo, you need to have it every day, or every time you sit down to work on any feature that you are working on. You should pull down from what is now called upstream, which is the main repository. So I would do something like git pull upstream.
Excuse me, Thomas.
Develop.
Sharing
Yes?
your console screen?
I'm not sharing my console screen?
No.
It's a freeze again.
Oh, really?
I think it's either freezing or
so I see my own stuff in the Hangout window. So
just stop sharing and then reshare the entire screen. I think it should fix it.
All right.
Because the screen share is dropping every 1 minute, 1 to 2 minutes or so.
Okay. I'm sorry about that. I thought it was a good connection, and I usually am. So let me know if you see that now.
It's a blank screen.
Still?
Can see Nicholas.
Can you guys see that now? No, nothing.
Oh no.
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 Gosh. Okay. Just give me a second, and so I need to go and ask my son to stop watching Netflix for at least 15 minutes, because probably that's it. Okay. Give me a minute, all right? All right. So I asked him to shut it down. Sorry about this. So is it? Can you see my screen now?
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. So what I was saying that we have to do this git remote add and name the remote that we're adding to upstream, and add the link to the Agile Ventures version of the repository. And now if we do a git remote .p, we can see that we have two remotes, one origin and one upstream. And the origin points to your own repo, and the upstream points to the Agile Ventures repository. Is that clear?
Yes, thank you.
Good. So now if I do git pull upstream develop, which you guys should have a habit of doing every time you sit down to code, just to make sure that you have the latest code, I should get that everything is up to date. But I didn't. Why not? Why not? Why not? Because yes, I had one extra commit. Yes, the merge pull requests. All right. So now I am up to date with the main repository basically. And this is the simplest way to do this, to pull down the code from upstream. We can always rebase, and we can do some other more advanced techniques. But if you don't feel too secure in using Git, or too experienced in using Git, I would say that the pull, just pulling from upstream, is the simplest and most effective way to get new code, and always stay on top of things basically. So remember, all the changes that you guys do are happening on your local machine, and when you push up to GitHub, you push up to your own accounts, and then in order to have that code become a part of the code base of the main repository, you have to create a pull request like I did, and then the guys that have administrative access to that repository will be able to merge that or reject it or make comments. We can do code peer reviews online, etc., etc. Any questions about that?
No. Okay.
There must be questions. Was I crystal clear, really?
Yes.
Wow. All right. So have you guys forked the repo? Let's see. When I reload the page, I see that there are 3 forks. I am probably one of them, and Shelly and Zmago forked. Good. You guys, if you want to participate, just log into your accounts and fork this as well. All right. So let me go in. Or is anybody? Sampriti, would you like to code for a sec, like clean up the gem file and perhaps add RSpec or Cucumber or something?
just like 1:30 a.m. here, and I'm just hanging here to help. Like I don't really feel like coding right now. I hope you understand.
Gotcha. No problems. Then I go ahead and do that, unless anybody else wants to do something right now. Feel free. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to clean this up a little bit. So I'm going to remove SQLite 3 because we're not going to use this. We're going to use Postgres, and the reason why we're going to use PG is because we will probably deploy this to Heroku, and Heroku doesn't play well with SQLite or anything else, but it requires us to use Postgres. We will not use CoffeeScript. I'm not sure about the Ruby Racer.
Just for JavaScript compilation, so uncomment that.
Yeah, that's a performance thing, right?
But I did remove that once and it caused some errors. So I know that is required. It's for some JavaScript thing. I don't really remember what it is.
It has to, I think, move with Heroku. If, for example, you have not using JavaScript, I'm not sure. I'm sorry, it's really late. I'm kind of blathering, but it has something to do with JavaScript and Heroku not working fine if you don't use Ruby Racer.
Okay, all right, we keep it. We will not use bcrypt or Unicorn or Capistrano Rails, so we're just going to remove this. We will not use bybag, but rather pry. And what is it? There is like a gem called pry rails, is it? Or what is it? Pry. What is it called? Gem pry. Or something like that. Pry rails. What does it do? Avoid repeating yourself. Use pry rails to copy the initialized rails scans. Yeah. Does it do anything for us, Sampriti? This pry rails?
Fancy debugger that we have in website 1.
We have it in website 1?
Yeah, in website 1 we have pry rails and pry bybug.
Okay.
Check the group chat.
Okay.
It's a rather neat tool to debug Rails.
Yeah.
I've found.
GM private version activate. Yeah, pry bybug. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna add it for now and see if we use it later. So yeah. And why do we need Spring, Sampriti?
It's for faster test running times. You can keep it like, but I don't think many people use it. I don't use it personally. It doesn't really give me much, but you can keep it.
All right. So, what Ruby version is the latest, or what should we use?
Well, there's no reason not to use the latest, is there?
And that's 2.3?
Yeah, 2.3.0.
2.3.2? Okay. Let's see if I have it.
The latest is 2.3.0. I guess you might not have that.
Let's save that. And so I'm using RVM. I don't know what you guys use for Ruby version control. No, Ruby versions. Yeah, managers. Yeah. So I'm just going to RVM install 2.3.0, and that's going to run for just a second or two. Hey, .NET, Nicholas, do you want to start doing some Ruby development?
Sure.
just follow the lead.
I will.
I can send you a link to my prep course for Ruby developers.
Cool.
Oh, it's fairly straightforward. So I know that you were working on a Mac, right? So,
yeah, right.
yeah, so you already have Ruby installed, but it's I think it's 1.9.8 or something.
Could be, yeah.
So it's not exactly the same thing.
What are your thoughts on using TypeScript for the JavaScript side of things?
TypeScript. I have no opinion about that at all because I don't know what it is.
It brings strong typing to JavaScript, which is coming in ES6 or ECMAScript 2015, as they're calling it now.
Honestly,
Anyway,
our application, I don't think it'll be very JavaScript intensive, so I think I'd staying with the plain flavors of JavaScript, or like maybe CoffeeScript should be enough. TypeScript shouldn't be required.
Yeah, if we go for, I mean, probably the clients will be JavaScript heavy.
So with TypeScript, it's a source-to-source transpiler. You can use as much of it or as little as you like. So you can just take a plain JavaScript file, and that is a valid TypeScript file. Then, if you like, you can start typing your parameters if you want to. You can start using classes. There's a lot of features you can choose to use or not. Whereas if you go with CoffeeScript, it has to be CoffeeScript. It doesn't look like JavaScript. It's completely different. TypeScript can be as light touch or heavy touch as you want.
Cool.
But the client still ends up with JavaScript at the end of the day.
Okay. Okay. So I have no opinion about it. I would need to read up on this. So if you have any resources for me to look at, I absolutely love to have a look at it. So
okay, I'll dig something out.
Yeah, write it up in Pivotal, or so for a decision that can be made, in a while perhaps.
Sure. Yeah. Sure. No problem. Yeah.
So absolutely. This time around, I actually have my charger with me, so I'm gonna plug this in so I don't die on during the session. Okay, so this took longer than I thought. So we're compiling. Are you guys installing Ruby version as well whilst we speak, or what's going on?
No, I'm still having technical difficulties with my Mac, so I'm on my iPad at the moment. For some reason, I can't get the microphone working.
Oh, gotcha.
So I'll do it afterwards.
Sure. So let's see if somebody else will fork it. Yeah. All right. Now we're talking. Now star it. Come on, Ruby. So another thing I can do before we run bundle install is that we could do gem RSpec, and I should go with RSpec rates, right? Then I don't have to do much, do I? I don't know. Let's try that. Is that how it looks? So there is this. So yes, it's actually a dash and not an underscore. That's what I thought. Yes. And we got it. So pseudomatures is a great little extension for RSpec, basically, which gives us a lot easier way to test our units and the database. It's like a regression thing. I love it. I'll show it later. And what else do we need? Let's just check the RSpec rates. Yes, and then we're gonna go with like factory girl. Yes, everything is prepared for it. So these gems can be used like with their special versions for Rails, or they can be used like for other rack-based applications or rack-based frameworks as well. So, but we're gonna install the Rails versions. Let's see how's that working out for us. Good. So let's just do this, and then I'm gonna do bundle install. You can say just bundle, but I can do that. Yes, gem install bundle. No, version. Yes, gem install bundler. Ooh, install, Thomas, install. So bundler is a package manager for gems. So when I switch rubies, I need to install that again. And for some reason, I'm getting these weird errors, or warnings or errors. I don't know why, because everything works. Have you seen that before? Sampriti?
No.
With those errors? Or seen them?
No.
I don't know what because it still works. Okay, so it could not find pry rails because I perhaps should underscore. So let's see if this will install without any clashes or anything. What? I love those underscores, and they never seem to work. Yeah. Let's just see. Yeah, go ahead.
Did you say in a previous meeting you were going to use Sinatra as well for the API? Or am I imagining?
Did I?
I think you did.
I could have. Perhaps I said I could have used Sinatra.
No, I think it was for the client.
Yeah, for the client. Yeah. For the web client. Yeah.
Yeah, for the web client. Yeah.
Yeah, because it's going to be a fairly straightforward, small little application, so we can easily use Sinatra or something, else. If we choose to build, a web client, but the focus here is to build a mobile application as a client, right?
Yeah. So what are you using to expose the API? I thought Sinatra does that as well.
No. So we're going to expose the API in this application, in Rails.
Yes, using Rails. Okay.
Yeah. Sure. And so this app will have two main functionalities, right? So it's going to expose the RESTful API, but it will also have an administrative interface for people to come in and see, like statistics or list of users, etc., and be able to do things like delete users or delete postings or just basically over the entire application.
Are you going to have that admin client also use the REST API, or will it talk to the backend directly?
It will talk to the backend directly. That's my idea. Okay. Oh, Sampriti left. So Sampriti is an all-time member of Agile Ventures. He's been around since the beginning. I think he was 13 when he joined. He's an extraordinary young man, really good programmer, very fast, and we've been collaborating on several projects. It's really cool. So what Sampriti said, so this will run in the background for a second, but what we need to do is to go in config and set up the database YAML, which is now set up for a SQLite, but we want to set that up for PG. And we're gonna call this database Unify development, and I'm gonna call this Unify test and Unify production. Is it PG or is it Postgres? I'm not sure. Let's have a look. And the best way to see that is, of course, by going over to another project of ours and just have a quick look there. Config and database YAML. Yes, it's Postgres. PostgreSQL. Okay. And username. Postgres pool 20. We can just use this. And let's just keep that for a second. Okay, so I'm going to do rspec. So my bundle install worked. I'm going to set up rspec. And this is not in any way fully configured because we need to add some different things like Capybara if you want to do. No, we will not do acceptance tests there. So yeah, but anyway, format documentation. Okay, let's just see if zero example of failures. Good. And so I'm going to do a git status, and now I'm going to add this to the gem file, to the git ignore, I mean, sorry. You guys know what the git ignore does?
Yes.
Yes.
Good. So let's do a status again, and we're cool, so I'm just going to do git add and git ci clean up a gem file and added made switch to that's how we spell switch?
You're missing a T.
Yes, I do, right?
There's a T as well.
Yeah, this may switch to PG and some other stuff. That's ambiguous enough, right? And then I'm just going to git push origin develop. Now, I pushed up to develop, and let's say that we work together now, some of us, right? So let's say that Shalini and I are working on a feature. So in order for her to get my code before I actually make a pull request to the main repository, she would need to have me added as a remote, which is something that we often do. So we can swap code between each other before we actually push it up and make it part of the code base. So let me just show you how this could be done. So if I go to Project Unify and I see, and I go to where do I go? I go to, gosh, yes, to whoever. Oh, sorry, whoever has forked it, and list the members list, right? And I'm go over to Shalini's GitHub repo, her version of this code. I can copy her URL, and I'm gonna do git remote add Shalini, right? Shalini, is that right? Yeah, that's right. And I can add her, right? So now, if I want, I can pull code from her, basically. So I can do git fetch Shalini, and I can see that she has only one branch so far, master. She hasn't created a develop branch yet. But if she had, and she had any code that I wouldn't have, I can do a git pull from her. And this is a very neat way, that we can use when we pair program remotely. So I can write code for a while, save everything, make a commit, push it up to GitHub, and then another developer can, if he has me added as a remote, pull that code down from me and continue work. And in this way, we can ping pong stuff. And once we're done, we can create a pull request, depending on who has the latest code, basically. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes. So I would suggest that you guys go over to my version of this code. I can paste you the link in chat, and you kind of add me as a remote. So you can say something like git remote add Thomas and my stuff, and and my URL, and then you try to do a git fetch first, git fetch Thomas, and then you can pull my code down from my develop branch. That could be a good exercise. Does anybody want to share their screen while they do that? No volunteers? All right. Don't be shy, guys. It's only a git command.
What did you want to do? Could you repeat?
I want you to go to bed. That's what I want you to do. No, I wanted them to add me as a remote on their local repos, on their local machines, in the projects. Because that will make it possible for people to collaborate on code, basically. But never mind, we can do some other stuff. So now I have created this thing, and of course what did I do? Where did I push? Oh, I pushed to develop. So if we go to develop, we see we have 6 commits now, and so I clean up the gem. You see my latest commit is here, right? So I probably want that commit to become a part of the main code, right? So I'm just going to create a new pull request. So let's see. Set up set tasks. So let's see, what do they do? Clean up game file from comments gems. Made switch to Postgres. What else did I do? And I say modify config database. Okay, so we can these these comments are, you can write in Markdown, so you can create like bullet points, and you can insert code and stuff here. So I'm just going to create this pull request, and I'm gonna and oh, it's okay. I thought I made it to the wrong branch, but it was cool. All right, sorry. So I'm just going to do a git pull origin, upstream, and develop. All right. Yes. Log, and we're all set. Okay. Questions on that? Is everybody confident with the git flow kind of thing process?
Do you think that we should create our own development branch of our own repo? So we've got a develop and a master, as well as
you should at least. I say that you should at least have a develop and master. You don't even need a master, to be honest. You need a develop branch.
Yeah.
And then when you start to work on something, you should create your feature branches, like a special branch for the thing that you actually work on, and merge that feature branch locally with your with the latest develop code. See if all the tests are still passing, and then create a pull request from that develop branch to the master repository branch, to the main repositories develop branch.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't, you don't even have to have the master branch on your local computer. It's not necessary.
Okay.
I would say. So we will end up with like 3 branches. We will have one develop branch, one branch we will call staging, and then the master branch. And they will correspond to 3 different servers, where the develop branch is the develop server, the staging branch is the staging server, and the master branch is the production server, basically. And so at least the first server, the develop server, which is the one that we will set up rather fast in no staging, says Sampriti. Well, it depends a little bit. So the develop server will be hosted on Heroku, and if we will host the production server on a virtual private server someplace, like on DigitalOcean or what have you, we will probably have a staging server, because we need to have that staging server to replicate the environment of the production server. So there's one thing to host something on Heroku, and if the client would decide to host the production on Heroku as well, then I would agree with Sampriti and not having a staging server. But if the production server will have its own environment, and we will kind of work on that with DevOps and stuff, then I say that we need a staging server. Do you agree with that, Sampriti, or not? +1. All right. I love you, brother. So does anybody else disagree with me or agree with me or something?
For me, it's okay.
Cool. Good. I will interpret the silence as a sign of acceptance.
It does make sense to have a staging server if the production environment is different from say a development server. It does make sense because you don't want any surprises later on.
Exactly.
It's
Cool.
just trying to be safe rather than sorry.
Cool. Yeah, my point is that. Yeah, right. So let's talk about continuous integration. So we have Travis CI, And we have CI is a continuous integration service that we've used for many projects, and I'm still using it a lot. I think local support runs on Travis. I use it in my work. I actually managed to set up Karma and Jasmine to run with Travis and with coveralls actually. So I'm very happy about that. But there are other services, Semaphore CI being one, and we use Semaphore for the Agile Ventures site, for instance, the Website One project. So both these services are set up to, when a pull request is created or when something is merged into the main repository, the continuous integration server is kicking in and running all the tests. And if a pull request is being merged into any of the 3 branches we use and all tests are being green, then these services are also actually deploying the code to our servers. So in this case, with Website One, but also with, I think, with local support, at the very bottom. So here are all the tests being run. Everything is green, blah, blah, blah. And these are shitloads of tests. So let's just scroll down to the bottom. Skipping a deployment with the Heroku provider because this branch is not permitted. Okay, so this wasn't actually deployed to Heroku. But here on Semaphore, you can see that we are deploying to both develop, staging, and production. And the latest push was made today at 10:59. Raul pushed out, deployed. Well, he merged a pull request into the master branch, and Semaphore have deployed those changes to Website One, to AgileVentures.org. So the question is, what service would we prefer to use? We're going to use one of them, but the question is which one. Has anybody any feelings about that?
I have had no experience with either of them, so I'll bow to your greater intelligence in this matter.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for the confidence. So Smago asks if the tests are not green, just put this in the project.
Yeah,
Yes,
check.
yes. It's the Volkswagen. It's just
It's a
skips
Volkswagen.
everything. Yeah. That was a good one, actually. Yeah. Yes. Let's not do that. But I see the point with it.
Yeah, I'm okay with the Travis.
Okay.
We use it we use it in this local support, and
Okay. So
it's kind of fine. I'm used to it.
So let me just.
Can you put the status of the CI builds onto the page in Website One? If you can do that with both of them, then I have no preference. But if there's one that can and another can't,
you mean the badges, or what do you mean?
Yes, yeah. So that in the Agile Ventures project page, you can see that the production build is green or the dev build is green, rather than having to come into here.
Yes, we can do either one of them, from both of them. I think. Let's see.
Okay, then I have no preference.
Let's see, badges, project settings, perhaps. Build settings. Yes, badge. Here it is. Let's see. Build status passed on. Yeah, so I can choose which branch I can, and I can get code for both of them. But let me just point you to something here. So my preference is actually Semaphore, because why would that be? I click here. Let's see what's yes. Okay, so you see those times here. So we run bundle install in 1 second and bundle exec regdb create in 9, and the slowest thing was the rake that runs both Cucumber and RSpec, and that runs for 5 minutes and 19 seconds. And if we go back here to Travis, we can see, I think I have website 1 here someplace, like the old stuff. Perhaps I don't anymore, because we used to run website 1 on Travis. But let's have a look at local support. And that ran for 4 minutes. The comparison is not that nice. But so usually before, when we made a switch, like website 1 took 12 to 15 minutes to run on Travis, and it took like 6 minutes to run on Semaphore, because we can run multi-threaded actions basically on Semaphore. So yeah, but since I couldn't show you that kind of falls flat. But yeah, I would prefer Semaphore actually.
The only other thing to check is that these would support doing a CI build of the Ionic client.
Oh, that's a different thing. So we don't. We just set this up for. We just set this up for the Rails application. I know that we've run AngularJS tests on Semaphore. So what I'm saying, Tony, is that today we're just talking about the Rails application. So it's a little premature to talk about the Ionic thing. But since you mentioned it, we've run Angular tests here.
Right. Yeah,
before.
it was just so that we didn't end up saying, okay, we'll use this CI server for the Rails app, and oh dear, that doesn't support Ionic, so we'll have to use something else for
Gotcha.
That was all.
All right. So as you see here, we did the npm install and everything, and the npm test, which runs what it run some stuff. Yeah, I wasn't involved in this, so I don't know really what it did. But I know that Semaphore supports different technologies as well. So, yeah. So I would say I'm gonna make a mental note and say that we're gonna do with Semaphore. And then I'm going to write up a story about this. Somebody can set that up, basically, because it's a little tricky. So it's a good learning experience, but we don't have time for that today, unfortunately. But it's a task that needs to be done. Okay. Actually, we don't have much time left. I see that it's 1 hour has already passed. So we're going to cut this a little short. But if any of you guys have the time to pair program, I don't, unfortunately, today. But if you guys have time to pair program, set up sessions, and I would, as a first step, I would definitely try to set up this, get acquainted with the Skit process, with swapping code between each other and setting up each other's remotes and stuff like that. And if somebody would feel like taking on something more advanced, that could be to set up the Cucumber framework in Rails in this application.
Yeah, I can do that.
I
can try to do that.
Yeah, try to do it online so people can watch. That would be really good. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
And also, let's just see if there's any progress on the videos on this project. No, there is not. There should, so I marked this recording as a pair programming session, and that should actually be visible here. It isn't, so I'm a little disappointed.
None of the videos are showing.
Yeah. So that's weird. Well, it is showing on the past events page, I hope.
Sorry,
yes.
I meant on the project page. None of the videos show up there.
So, but I'm a little disappointed actually. But okay. Anyway, any questions for me at this point before we call it a night? No questions. Crystal clear.
No, but I'd like to thank you.
You're welcome,
I think
Nicholas.
For all of
Thank
us.
you, Thomas.
All right. Does all of this make sense to you, Nicholas?
Not all of it, but
this is so the beginnings are always a little tech
yeah,
heavy,
sure. Yeah.
but we will move into more feature development later on, and that's going to be more fun because then you actually see more cool stuff happening.
Yeah, but it's always interesting to listen to it anyway. So.
All right. Guys, thank you for listening. Thank you for coping with my voice. But let's move forward. And again, the Pivotal Tracker is open for everybody. Just grab any story you want, and we didn't do any voting today, but we will try to have daily stand-ups in the Refugee Tech channel, which we will rename probably to Unify. But anyway, Sapriti, do you know how that works with those text-based scrums?
One we just introduced, right?
Oh.
Hello?
Oh, your sound is breaking up. Well, never mind for now, perhaps. But we just kind of, or Sam and Tony, I think you were involved in that, setting that up. There is we need to type start, or what's going on?
Yeah, you just type start, and it should ask everybody whatever the questions are that have been set up. What you did yesterday, what you're doing today, are there any blockers? But we can change those if we want to.
Yeah. So we try to. So Slack is a really good tool for communication, and with this little tool, we will be forced to answer certain questions, and I think that's a good thing. So let's try to do that, even if not on a daily basis. But if we work with something that is related to this project, we should definitely try to keep everybody in the loop and not wait for the next weekly meeting, but rather communicate asynchronously in Slack, if that's okay with you guys. Yeah, and keep the conversation, interesting conversations that have been going on the Pivotal Tracker under certain stories. I try to follow as much as possible as I can. I don't always have the time to respond to everything, but next week or during this week, I'd love to see some of this Cucumber API testing and stuff. We have to make a decision on that. All right, Tony?
Yeah, that's fine. I did set up a separate project just to play around, and I got a Cucumber test working against an API using Sinatra, so
cool.
It should be easy enough. I don't know about using Rails for the API, but I'll figure it out.
It's the same thing probably. If you can test the Sinatra API with Cucumber, you can definitely test the Rails API.
Yeah, sure. Although of course, if it's pair programming, I'll write the tests and they'll fail, and then someone else can come along and write the code to make them pass.
Isn't that beautiful?
Isn't it?
That's what I love to do. All right, guys. Unless there's anything else, I'll be going down and watch some TV with my wife.
Okay, thank you.
Live long and prosper. Remember. All right.
Yep.
Okay, guys.
Cheers.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.